18 states have universal background check laws that require anyone selling a gun to run a background check on the buyer. But research shows that in 2 out of 3 states, sellers are simply not complying with the law.
The art of the elevator pitch has been lost, and we're here to bring it back. After 5 years and 3,000 pitches, we've developed a simple formula that anyone can build from. Who are you? What is your company? What problem do you solve? How do you solve it? Who's going to pay you money? What do you need? Nail that in 30 seconds and you're on your way. How will today's entrepreneur do? Pitch practice is now in session.
So I'm John Ford, and my company is called Diodic. 18 states have universal background check laws that require anyone selling a gun to run a background check on the buyer. But research shows that in 2 out of 3 states, sellers are simply not complying with the law. Diodic's technology helps law enforcement detect these illegal sales without needing conventional gun registration. I'd like to schedule about 5 minutes of your time to explain our technology and business in more detail.
Now, let's break down today's pitch.
Thank you, John Ford of Diodic, for coming to pitch practice. And thank you for demonstrating something that I think is incredibly important for new entrepreneurs who are starting off and trying to create their best pitch. You read it. That's awesome. You did 2 things, really. First, you had to write it down, and then you had to read it. Now, a lot of people come in and they have it on their phone. They have it typed in on their phone. That's okay if you're just trying to, get it and say it nice. You can read it. That's a great way to practice, and a lot of people do that at pitch practice. That's just fine. However, he wrote it down on a piece of paper. Writing it down puts it into your brain 7 times better than just typing it. So, well done there for writing out your pitch and reading it. I highly encourage that. If you read it 10 times, chances are you can put away that piece of paper and say it almost perfectly the 11th time. Give it a try. Pretty clear problem here, although it's it's part of a bigger, huger problem. Is huger a word? Doesn't matter. It's a big problem. The way he stated it was 18 states have universal background check laws. And 2/3 of those, so 12 of those states, don't comply with the background check laws. That's a problem. I don't know if it's a symptom of the bigger problem or if it is a cause of the bigger problem, which is people getting killed because some psycho gets a gun and goes around shooting people. I don't know what the cause and effect there is, but this is certainly at least part of a problem. It may be the problem itself. That's up to John to discover. There's an old saying that says you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? Wrong. You can lead a horse to water, and you can make that horse drink if you have put salt in that horse's oats, so they'll be thirsty. What you say in your pitch is the salt in the oats of your audience. That's what John did. He said, our solution helps law enforcement detect illegal sales without conventional gun registration. That's all he said. Now, if that's the solution to helping law enforcement detect illegal gun sales, meaning when a gun dealer sells a gun to somebody who shouldn't get it, so they sell illegally, and if law enforcement knows, that's a big deal. The salt here is that statement. Instead of puking all over us about what he does and how he does and all the technology he uses, he just says what the result is. So our natural next question is, how do you do that? We want to know. We want to drink the water. We want to know more, which he sets us up perfectly. We don't really know who his customers are. We know who benefits from his solution. He said it helps law enforcement, and if it helps law enforcement, therefore by definition it helps the public. But we don't know who's actually going to pay money for this solution. We don't know exactly what the solution is either, but we don't know who's going to pay money. Is it law enforcement? Is it gun owners? Is it gun sellers or dealers? Is it gun manufacturers? We don't know. That might help us understand more about how the technology works if he just says, here's who's going to buy it. Because somebody's going to benefit by paying some money for it and increase their bottom line from that. But we don't know who that is yet. His ask was also very clear and very compelling because he asked for 5 minutes to explain his technology in detail. That tells me, A, that he knows what the technology is and can explain it to me in 5 minutes. And he was very clear. I just want 5 minutes of your time. Very clear ask. So if you have any understanding of this whole area and you have the desire to know about a solution to guns illegally getting into the hands of people who shouldn't have them, then you can spare 5 minutes of your time to listen to John Ford talk about Diodic. John, thank you very much for bringing Diodic to pitch practice. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate you demonstrating to us how to get started on your pitch, which is by reading it. Really appreciate that, and also appreciate you putting salt in our oats. We want to know more. We want to know what this technology is that helps law enforcement detect illegal sales of firearms. That would be an excellent thing for all law enforcement to have. Thank you very much. Wish you the best of luck.